Do you know what they say? That all roads lead to this rock show. All roads converge into one place. They converge to the centre of new rock album reviews because it's MPJ time! And it's Nigel, and it's Trish, and it's William, and it's Pete. And bizarrely, we are reviewing Converge. And their album, Love Is Not Enough. What is enough, though, for an album of this sort, then? And what sort of album is it? Let's find out. Let's go to Fanboy, Metalcore Fanboy himself. Well, we've got, I mean, let's be honest with you, this could be any one of you lot. Pete, Converge, tell me all about it.
I can do this review in one word, really, and that word is a very powerful word in the world of metal, and it is Slayer. Every single show you go to, every metal show, there's always some guy shouting Slayer, and this just reminds me a lot of Slayer, and Slayer is amazing. It is fast, it is freshy, it is messy, it is lovely. It's got a guy screaming in your face like you just nicked his last beer and he is pissed. It is awesome. Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. If you were to ask a non-metalhead what the most famous metal song of all time is, they'll probably say Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. If you ask a metalhead what is the most cornerstone, most identical metal song of all time, it is Raining Blood by Slayer. And these guys take a page of their book, and I don't blame them for it. The world needs more Slayer. Just the other day, I was watching the animation series Invincible on Amazon Prime, and during this epic fight scene, Raining Blood from Slayer came on, and I had to pause the show. I had to stop everything I was doing and go listen to Slayer, because that is just how powerful they are. Converge is, of course, not quite up there on that level. They're trying to reach for that level, and they're doing a great job at it with this awesome old school thrash metal shit they're throwing out. I can appreciate that. Like I said, the world needs more of this.
Trish?
So, this album, I see that the band is sort of marketed within like progressive metal and metalcore genre. But for me, listening to the album, it was much closer to like sort of thrash metal in tone and pacing, but that was just to my ears. You know, there's plenty of aggression in the album here that progressive metal fans will likely appreciate. But personally, while I enjoy metalcore, this blend didn't quite land in my preferred listening and made it harder for me to fully connect with the album. That being said, Beyond Repair was a standout track for me. It captures and creates tension, delivering an atmosphere and impact on the song. Love Is Not Enough. Even if it didn't quite hit my personal sweet spot, there's no denying the skill behind it, and fans who appreciate a thrash-leaning take on progressive metal and metalcore will likely find plenty to enjoy.
William, Converge. Did this converge for you, my friend?
Pete, it may be safer for you to plug your ears.
Take your medicine, Pete. Take your medicine.
I have famously, in my time, spoken of how I don't care for old metal, older bands, old ones like that, because it's just not me. And
it's the classics we call them, Will. It's not old, we call them the classic. Okay, and they're the classics for a reason.
So-called classics. I am a little modern metalcore boy whose favourite band is Electric Callboy. Very energetic, all that kind of stuff. It just wasn't for me. The instruments cool. It's got some good theming in it. Got some cool music, cool things, but I just couldn't get behind the vocals in this one. Like, it wasn't like my kind of growling, screamy kind of stuff that I tend to enjoy. So I found it a bit of a drag. I must confess to get through this one. Yes, I'm going to leave it there because it's more just Nah, yeah, I was rather whelmed.
Uh, uh, I like thrash metal. I like it when you have clear vocals. Now, combine if you try to have and a metalcore albums, I get some pleasure out of metalcore albums because sometimes it works. I can appreciate the musicality in some of the thrash metal, or not metalcore bands I'm forced to listen to. And I only like thrash metal when it's paced beautifully and it's combined with amazing lyrics. So things like Metallica and kind of bands, and even things like Love Bites and stuff as well. And it's tolerable and it's good and you can appreciate it. Oh my god, I couldn't. If somebody said to me what would be the worst combination, I would go, oh my god, please somebody don't ever mix thrash metal with metalcore and prog metal, because that would be an absolute fucking disaster. And guess what? You converge all those three things into this and it's a fucking disaster. This is the worst album I have encountered in the last god knows how many years. And that goes for, some of the absolutely atrocious bands that we've listened to. This is my worst album of the last 3 years by a long way. It just was not, everything about it was not my cup of tea in the slightest. And don't forget, people, this is for our listening pleasure. We're not voting this on how we think technically it is good. It's purely how much pleasure do we get out of listening, and I got zero pleasure out of listening or attempting to listen to this utter convergent mess. But that's my personal opinion. You can leave a comment below. In the meantime, what do we think? Let's find out our votes then for this then, and obviously we'll be tuning in to where everybody else. So Lauren is not here and Simon's not here. Pete, let's start positive, shall we? Let's start with you.
To clarify, I would still categorize this as clean vocals. This is not even screaming for me. That is just like a raw sound. But I cannot give you a 2-word review because I've only got one word for this, and that word is Slayer. Slayer.
Thanks, but can you give your marks first of all? The 2 words come later. Now we give our votes. Now we give our votes, mate. Yeah, you did. I know you're excited, Pete, but just give me a goddamn score. Give me a score.
You're in trouble for asking me later.
Yeah.
It's a 1-word review. That is Slayer. It is 1-figure review, and that is a 4.
4. Okay, that's 4 fingers, but never mind. We'll go there. Trish.
2.5.
Okay, that's pretty positive. William.
1.5.
Oh my god.
Simon gives us a 2.5. Okay, so not too bad. However, you obviously Lauren was a great. Lauren was slower than you, mate. She gave it a 1.
Ooh.
Which is one more than I give it. I could not be finding some redemption out of this, but I found 0 redemption in this. I give it a big fat 0. Hated it. Absolutely hated this album. Right. Okay. Obviously not going to do great. We'll drop my 0. My 0 never came. You never heard it. It didn't exist. We're just going to get rid of that at all. So Converge Love and Not Enough is a 2.3. And out of our 669 albums, it made it to the top 600th place. And with 36 album, it's our 35th album. You would be shocked to know that this was not the worst album we reviewed this month. But tune in to the other lot tomorrow.
You gotta do it tomorrow.
Well, tune in tomorrow. One of them was Gorillaz. So yeah, not our worst album of the month, but certainly down there and not appreciated by our panel. What do you think? Let's hit our 2-word review, shall we? Starting with you then, Pete. Shock for Deja Vu coming.
Walk away, skip it.
Deja Vu come in. Go on then. Give us 1 word, Pete. Go on. We'll let you have 1 word. Trish.
Sparse love.
Okay, and William.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Brutally, I will say bloody awful. But let's. Well, as I say, I can only say what I feel, and I can only go by what I heard. And for me, it was just bloody awful. But what do you lot out there think? That's the most important point. If you're brave enough, leave a comment below. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hey, if you don't like it, dislike us. But that's just where we are. In the meantime, converge onto your own music. Converge on this album. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Goodbye from me. Keep on rocking.